My name's Iggy and I'm delighted to be joined by Frank Smith. We're here at the Bellotti Dillon press conference for the next gen here, the O2 Indigo. Frank, how's it going, mate?
Good to see you, Ziggy. Yeah. One of my neighbours from Brighton.
Yeah. Cracking fight card. The main event is an absolute banger. Of course, Bellotti looking for that title, Dillon the holder. Clash of styles is going to be phenomenal.
100%, look, a brilliant fight. Dillon, Reece Bellotti's been on a tremendous run, got some good wins recently, and just shown as well that, you know, even with defeats, it doesn't mean it's the end of you in this sport. Liam Dillon, a tremendous fighter. I think they're going to go toe to toe, and can't wait for it.
Of course, the undercard. I think it's one of the best next gen shows you produce. You've got likes of Shannon Ryan, John Hedges, Craig Richards back after 19 months out. Talk to me about that, because Boris Crichton, really not an easy touch for his first one back. We saw him with Lyndon Arthur a few months ago. How do you see the undercard? Shannon Ryan, obviously, unfortunate that Emma Dillon pulled out, but it's going to be a cracking fight.
Yeah, cracking fight. Look, Shannon Ryan, as you say, she should have been fighting for the British title, second female British title, which would have been great to see. We'll make that in the future. But two undefeated fighters going in there, so excited for that one. Craig Richards back out. Boris, as you say, he gave Lyndon a tough test. You know, he came in on a day's notice as well in that fight. But it's the kind of fight Craig needs to set him up for the big nights we want to make this year. John Hedges back out after a long time out of injury. Cameron Vong, you know, who's someone we believe is going to be a huge star for us in the long term. You know, keeping him active, he's always looking what's beyond this, but he's got a tough fight on Saturday. But he is a special fighter, and some big nights to come for him. You've got Emmanuel on the card as well, you've got Jack, you've got Ibrahim, so stacked next gen card from top to bottom. I'm very excited for it.
With people like Cameron Vong, of course, you've got your number of prospects, we've seen them over the years. As a promoter, do you, of course, you've got to big up your fighters, but do you also feel not to put too much pressure on them so that it doesn't affect them going forward? I mean, it depends what kind of fight you have, but as a promoter, is that an issue for you at all? Or?
Yeah, in the background, you know, you have to, we speak to them a lot and we work with them, but it's part of the confidence as well. You know, part of the confidence and what makes them what they are is that confidence that they're going to go in there and they're, you know, that they've got a huge talent. So it's a balance. But, you know, someone like Cameron's got a good team around him, you know, especially with Jamie and Nigel as well and Sam Jones, you know, making sure that he keeps on his, you know, keeps his feet on the ground. But, yeah, it's balancing the two, you know, because that's what makes him special as well.
As a promoter, I guess, you know, you've just been in Las Vegas, you do all sorts of different shows from, you know, the Anthony Joshuas of the world to your next gens. As a promoter, do you find it difficult to sort of go, oh, I'm going from Anthony Joshua 1 week to a next gen, or is that just what part and parcel of the job, different sizes of shows at all?
It's part and parcel, you know, it's we got a great fight on Saturday. I mean, one of the best shows and fights I've ever been at was a small show we did in Mexico when Non Shinga won the world title. It was one of the best fights I've ever seen in my life. It wasn't I had a few thousand people in there, but that was a show that made me go, wow, this is great. And, you know, I'm lucky I get to sit there and watch boxing. It's not really a tough job, is it? You know, it's there's a lot of tough parts that come with it, but, you know, for us it's about creating great nights, and we have to have the same energy for every event. You know, you can't, it's not, oh, up for this one, not really up for this one. You know, we got to deliver, and, you know, we want to deliver quality all throughout the year.
Vision will be at the end of the year.
Who knows? Look, it's about not looking past what's right in front of us. You know, March 8th, Anthony Joshua has a big fight against Francis Ngannou. May 18th now is that undisputed fight. I think we've got to focus on the nights ahead of us. Anthony Joshua has never shied away from any challenge. All I can say is he's going to be in the biggest fights possible. But March 8th is the focus right now.
Yeah. We saw Tyson Fury, of course, he likes his Instagram call-outs, but the other day he said, you know, I want 2 with Usyk, 2 with AJ, and then who knows what from there. It's hard to believe Fury these days, but do you believe that from working with him behind the scenes in his management?
Look, I don't work that closely with Tyson Fury, but you know, he's an entertainer. He's a big talker, obviously. I believe he wants to fight Anthony Joshua, and I believe we'll see that fight in time. You know, win, lose, draw, whatever happens with the Usyk fights, I believe the Tyson Fury fight will always be massive and a fight that we want to make. So, but again, it's a crazy sport, and you can never look beyond what's ahead of us. Every day something new comes up. So, but I'm hopeful we see that.
We've seen the introduction of his excellency into boxing. Talk to me about the process of working with someone like that. How much easier it's made making these fights. We've got Bibble Beterbiev coming up, the Matchroom 5v5. Talk to me about the process of working with someone like that in boxing.
It takes away the politics. It takes away the politics. He wants to make the biggest fights possible. He's a boxing fan, and he's making the biggest fights possible. You know, he's look at the run he would have had from October through to June 1st with the fight, as you say, Bivol Beterbiev he announced the other day. It's the best fights in the sport, and great to see. And, you know, I think he's only going to be a huge help for the sport, and he loves it. he loves the sport and he loves the fighters, so that's the focus.
On a final note, I met you 2 years ago. A lot has changed since then.
You got taller.
Yeah, I have.
I've got shorter. You got taller.
And the hair as well.
Yeah,
There's a lot.
you got hair. I haven't.
No.
So you don't have to rub it in. I know, like the hairline's going. But
I was a very unconfident individual back then. Of course, as people grow up, that's what happens. But in those 2 years as yourself, what's changed for you? Not only in your job as a promoter, of course, you're here by yourself at the moment. No, Eddie, you're taking more of a main role. What's changed in those 2 years for yourself and also in your profession?
I've put on weight, I've lost weight, I've put on weight, and I've lost weight again. But no, it's doing more of this stuff. You know, I've always been involved in the events in the background, but doing more and more of this stuff and taking a bit more. Look, we've got so many events on at the moment, we've got so much going on. We have to spread the load a little bit, and you know, Eddie's a bit shy, so you know. It's been a fun 2 years, and looking forward to the next 20 years.
Got away for that men's health cover next.
No. You don't need to see my Shakira hips.
Frank Smith, thank you very much,
Thanks
mate.
very much,
Cheers.
mate.